Hey everyone, welcome back. Now we finally have the banner for Flame Tyr in the global version. Some of you might feel it's a bit late and unsure whether to pull for him or not, so I hope this guide video can help you make an informed decision. Okay then, let's start the guide. Flame Tyr is a rage type unit with two stances, Burning Sword stance and Blazing Armor stance. But let's call them as Sword stance and Feast stance for simplicity. Tyr starts the stage in Sword stance and primarily uses his sword to attack in this stance. You can switch to Feast stance by using skill 3 in Sword stance. In Feast stance, Tyr mainly attacks with his fist, while his sword spinning in the air for ranged attacks. Which stance he adopts depends on the code you choose, and we'll go through those later. Firstly, let's look at the sword stance. In this stance, his normal attack consists of 4 animations and grants 29 rages when fully hit. The skill 1 deals damage and inflicts a stun on the enemy for 2 seconds. The skill 2 is a simple damage dealing skill with a slashing motion. The skill 3 throws the sword at the enemy, switching Tyr to Feast stance. His sword spins in the air and deals damage for 10 seconds. If the duration is not extended, Tyr returns to the sword stance. Next, let's look at the Feast stance. His normal attack consists of 5 animations and grants 28 rages when fully hit. The skill 1 deals damage and lowers the fire resistance of enemy for 5 seconds. The skill 2 moves the spinning sword to the locked on enemy, reset the duration of the spinning sword, and increase the its damage for 5 seconds. Skill 3 summons back the sword and unleashes a powerful attack when Tyr catches it, and making him invincible during the attack motion. Extremity Dodge grants 15 rage and increased fire damage for 6 seconds. Ultimate skill deals damage and increase skill damage by 10% and ultimate damage by 20% for the whole team for 10 seconds. Ultimate skill chain with Kautsuchi deals damage and provides the same damage bonus for skills and ultimate skills, plus a 40% increase in team's fire damage for 12 seconds. Next, let's check the different playstyle with a different code. The yellow code mainly utilizes sword stance, enhancing normal attack and skill damage in this stance. Also, spinning sword now follow the locked up enemy with the first code. In Feast stance, using skill 3 teleports Tyr to the enemy instead of summoning back the sword. The cooldown of skill 3 will be reduced the faster the skill is used in Feast stance. The last code provides additional attack boost stackable up to 10 times in sword stance every 2 seconds, but the stacks are lost in Feast stance every 2 seconds, so you need to stay in sword stance and only briefly switch to Feast stance. You can start the stage with normal attack until you get 20 rage, then use skill 3, 1, 3 in order and stay in sword stance while skill 3 is on cooldown. Repeat the same process once skill 3 is ready again. The red code focuses on Feast stance, damage increased and automatically grants rage in Feast stance. The second code allows you to throw the spinning sword again right after summoning it back, with normal attack after successfully throw, teleporting Tyr and release the last strike of the normal attack. The cooldown of skill 2 is also reset. Rethrowing the sword increases the damage of a spinning sword, stackable up to 2 times. You can rethrow by using skill 3 right after skill 2 when you are close to the sword. You don't need to wait to see the motions. Just press skill 3 right after skill 2. If you are too far away from the sword, press skill 3 first, then skill 2. If you miss the timing and release skill 3, quickly use the normal attack to reduce the cooldown with the last code. The last code also makes skill 1 in Feast mode consume all rage in increased damage based on the amount of rage used. So in this code, use skill 3 when the stage starts and gain rage up to 40, then rethrow the sword 2 times to get the maximum damage buff. After that, use normal attacks until you reach full rage, then use skill 1 for the maximum damage buff. Also, once you rethrow the sword 2 times, you can use skill 2 in Feast mode and try to stay in Feast mode by resetting the duration of spinning sword in time. The blue code provides a high risk, high return playstyle. In sword stance, Tyr loses HP when using normal attacks, skill 1 and skill 2. But receives a damage buff similar to Savage from Wolf. The lower his HP, the more damage buff he gets. In addition, the skill 1 and 2 in sword stance leave a mark on the enemy for 20 seconds, increasing the fire damage of fist stance when Tyr hits the enemy with the mark. Normal attacks in fist stance recover HP. The cooldown of skill 3 decreased by 9 seconds upon releasing a skill. The last code gives additional AoE damage once every 10 seconds when Tyr hits an enemy with a mark. In this code, you will lower your HP while in the sword stance, leaving a mark on the enemy, then switch to the fist stance and deal damage while the mark remains, or until your HP reaches a certain level. At that point, use skill 3 to switch back to the sword stance and repeat the process. This code becomes more powerful if you can maintain low HP throughout the battle, but it will greatly increase the difficulties of control. In addition, you can also try some mixed codes. With this code, lower your HP first and rethrow the spinning sword twice in fist mode. Then use skill 2 whenever it's ready with normal attacks and skill 1 in fist stance. Similar to 1 blue and 2 red, but now you cannot rethrow the spinning sword. Lose HP, get into fist stance and use normal attacks, skill 1 and skill 2. The differences in damage output between codes are not significant, so choose the one you prefer. Once you equip the signature Functor, you will see these marks above the HP bar. This is the Scorchy brand, which maxes out at the 100 points, and normal attacks in fist stance grants 4 points per hit. These points provide additional damage bonuses on normal attacks and skills in sword stance by consuming the points. Moreover, there are 2 additional functions specifically for the red and yellow codes. In the yellow code, triggering the strong attack of skill 3 grants full points. This does not change the playstyle but significantly increases the total damage output of the yellow code. In the red code, skill 1 in fist stance consumes these points too and receives further damage bonuses based on the amount of points consumed, making it even stronger with the signature Functor. Just note that if Tyr uses his ultimate skill in fist stance, he returns to the sword stance. However, if he uses the ultimate skill chain, he remains in fist stance. So to maximize the damage of skill 1, he needs Kaozuchi in the team for the ultimate skill chain, and should use the ultimate skill chain before using skill 1 to benefit from the all damage buff. For these reasons, if you want to play the yellow or red code, the signature Functor is highly recommended. However, blue code or mixed code does not affect it much from the signature Functor, so you can use the Genjun 5-star Functor or 4-star Functor instead. You can equip the Fistkeeper Sigil that comes with Flame Tyr and choose one of the all, Caledonian or Feeder of the Pacifier. These sigils provide similar results, so choose the one you prefer. For Enchants, go for the usual deal options along with ultimate skill charge and rage related options. As for Warp, please refer to the chart on the screen. As mentioned earlier, Kaozuchi is recommended for the ultimate skill chain, and you can add a supporter for the last spot. If you don't have Kaozuchi, you can add 2 supporter or try Anubis and Sobek for damage bonuses from their ultimate skill chain. However, Kaozuchi with supporter is still the best option. That wraps up the guide for Flame Tyr. He is a really fun modifier to play, but unfortunately his banner got delayed many times and we already have Jinwu for a fire damage team. Additionally, we will have strong ice teams to pull later on, so you may consider saving your resources this time. However, if you want to play the new S-rank Kagozushi in a later version, Flame Tyr will be needed. So think about pulling now or later when the banner rerun with the Kagozushi banner. Anyway, I hope this guide has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. Bye guys.